It's been a long time. Actually, now I think I'm right about Columbus Day. Okay, so the Lizard Lounge, I don't know how many of y'all been coming here for I don't know how long, and you know, I have a sense of, you know, history in this place and whatnot. But you know, a lot of poets came through here, you know, I was one of those, and now it's funny to come back and kind of see one of the things that, you know, we was really kind of envisioning in our brain, because it's like the Lizard Lounge has blackened up. And I'd like to take some goddamn credit for that. Because back in the day, it was not so. And there was a lot of arguing and a whole bunch of kerfuffles and a whole bunch of Harvard folks who, you know what I mean, wanted to like tell you about, you know, how you should do your poetry, and you know what I mean. It was a very different environment. So I'm glad to see the evolution of the Lizard, right, until the modern day, that what we have, the Lizard Lounge. And as always, you know, these dudes behind right here, you know, they get down. You know what I mean? The jazz, the music, you know, the ability to be able to improvise on the spot with the words of whoever's standing up here, I think is a credit to them, this institution. I've been here for a while, and you know, I like it. I fucks with it. So, Jeff Robinson Trio. All right, we're gonna do some new stuff. We're gonna do some old stuff. From the minds of maniacal madness, we bring you death, destruction, and desolation. We bring you insanity, infertility, and isolation. We bring you a new religion which begins with other spiritual systems' desecration. For we are the destroyers, the pain enjoyers, the new tactic employers, strategists constantly plotting new ways for you to meet your demise. Because you are stupid and therefore deserve death, proven by your surprise. Amazed at the simplest of the sleight of hand done before your very eyes. Fascinated with cheap tricks which only serve as distractions, because the masses are appeased with words and appearances and seldom look at the actions. We are of the few but affect the many. We are the people of the plenty, and the perpetual plan is to protect the profits and make sure that nobody else don't get any. We are the gatekeepers, the fluffy pillow, silk sheet sleepers, the reapers of all the master sees fit to fall from the table and take of it gladly. Our position is doggy style, bent over before the wielders of power like an altar boy sacrificed on the altar of pedophile priests preaching false beliefs. The blind are leading the blind into blindness with blinders on. The elders are staying in their lane even though it's the wrong one with their blinkers on. And where are the torchbearers, the trailblazers? They are locked in prisons of marginalization and misinformation, and undoubtedly set up for character assassination. And if that doesn't shut you up and slow you down, then we will just assassinate you and get it right on the first attempt. Or trump up charges and judge you in a court where you are already held in contempt. Where no person in illegal possession of color is ever exempt. You are state property, from the plantation to the prisons and penitentiaries, where the unlucky amendment guaranteed the abolishment of slavery, except for punishment. And you are being punished. Like mama's belt, extension cord, or old shoe, we have mass-produced whips, and we have one here that is sure to fit you. Your cries of anguish only serve as confirmation. The millions who behind bars languish only serve as lubrication. Greasing the wheels of the beast machine that grinds you to dust, and the turbines that blow you to and fro to the four corners of the globe. You have been shattered and then scattered. Those who seek to reconstitute themselves brain splattered. Because in this order of the new world, niggers never even mattered. But they were counted. Stand up and be counted. I want to be in that number. until it is tattooed on your arm, or until you are forced to be photographed with it emblazoned on a sign, or until you are forced to take the mark on your hand or your forehead in order to buy your cell. And your intentions may be good, which is why this road to hell is paved so well. Oh well.
Okay. Break the ice. Yeah, this is not a Jamarhl, it's an iced tea. And I'm so scared because if I spill it, I'm gonna be so mad. Okay, so it's 9/11. I don't know how y'all feel about it. You know, gotta do the obligatory 9/11 part.
Yes.
Okay. When the planes hit the buildings, the shit hit the fan. Is this yet another example of man's inhumanity to man, or a wickedly wise and very well orchestrated plan? We needed some new history because the media was running out of footage from World War II. So now the producers of every conflict on the planet, we proudly present World War New. Like a bad joke. Have you heard the one about the white man, the Muslim, and the Jew? It's alright if you don't laugh, because once they get it, they seldom do. America is like your punk-ass boyfriend who gets in and promises to pull out, but never does.
What?
And only then do you realize that you've been fucked. Iraq, Afghanistan, Egypt, Libya, then Syria, and ultimately Pakistan, the so-called Middle East and North Africa, promising the resources and, more importantly, potentially unlimited sources of oil, gold, silver, uranium, and phosphate. And once you have conquered and infiltrated, you can get it at a cut rate, especially when you set up a military police state. America's foreign policy is butt rape, as opposed to its old policy of plain old regular rape. During slavery and at the beginning of the genocide of this here native land of the free. Colonization is now a corporation whose founding principles were adopted from founding fathers who had no principles and yet carry on in tradition until this day. The white man got a God complex. He thinks he's invincible. The superpower with superpowers. Pimp slap you with a hidden hand that is invisible, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, except you. Is there some way that they could possibly suck the life out of this? Is it possible that we could somehow make a buck out of this? Where there is a will. I now present to you the 9/11 commemorative coin. On the back, the burning tower is still standing, and on the front are brave troops, police and firemen. Hurry, hurry, step right up. Get your memorial 9/11 lapel pin with a red, white, and blue ribbon that says, "We will never forget." Live on television, on every channel, 9/11 dedication to the thousands of victims of the most heartless plot to ever occur on American soil. And that plot is to profit off of pain. On the radio, I can hear the political pontifications of the prolific pundits. Jay-Z, Kanye, Nas, Drake, and Lil Wayne. With a chorus automatically tuned with T-Pain. Mass destruction is now mass produced and promoted through mass hysteria. Amiri Baraka in the aftermath asked the simple question, who? And the Roman Empire sought to immediately crucify him like a very famous black Jew. But that's how they do. George W. Bush stood on the rubble and pounded on his chest like a gorilla, promising revenge. And then we got our first black president, who has consistently been referred to as a monkey, who was given the task of proving his loyalty in a few ways, and all this just happened in a few days. But here, let's just focus on 2 ways. You must first reject your own. Show no allegiance to any other group of people, especially your own people. Second, You must then be willing to attack your own. Burn the village, loot and pillage, make orphans out of children. Because this time around, the face of the conquest of Africa is an African. The doors were open when the towers fell down, giving the evil empire carte blanche to initiate their plans for global domination, and the only thing left they needed was your participation. And instances such as this have a strange way of binding together the collective consciousness to an agreed upon course of action, and seldom is it in a positive direction. Seek hell. Agendas based on fear and greed, because to watch over 3,000 people bleed from a horrible act of terrorism is obviously the greatest atrocity that happened on American soil. Obviously. 3,000 casualties, irreparable damage to multi-million-dollar properties, but in the end, like a Canadian Mountie, America always gets its man. And we were treated to the climactic final scene in this well-produced political theater. I bring you the head of the boogeyman. Obama killed Osama. And just in time for the election. Because the best way to get your mind off of all the things that really don't matter is misdirection. And you just may overlook the fact that this so-called more perfect union is built on a solid foundation of imperfections. They say the country unified after the towers fell down, single-mindedly focused on the two things that America really stands for: revenge and getting back to business as usual. Boogie cow.
Okay. So now,
you know, one thing I like to do, you know, as a writer, you know, I jot a lot of stuff down. A lot of what I consider some of the beginnings of my best poetry happened over here, like, you know, writing down these tables oftentimes on napkins and whatnot, like as things was going on, cats was playing music, vibing, and it just got very, you know, things. So a lot of that, you know, I have a whole bunch of poems that ain't necessarily, you know, complete works or whatever. It's just, you know, it's crazy. Literally, if I took all the stuff that I've written and, you know, really stacked it up, it's probably about, you know, somebody's child high. You know, and it's like that. So I just pull out one of these things here because this is about one of my favorite personalities in the city, our mayor in Boston. Great guy. Who could never do this? Can you imagine Menino doing spoken word poetry? That's just what it is. Hey, I will tell you that Whoa. All right. In a city where Menino runs shit like Gambino, kids take gambles with their lives, we already got ghetto casinos. Where baby Bambinos aspire to be baby Benzinos. Where they bang bang shoot them, the gang bang recruit them. And they come that they hang them. And the whole gang salute them. They spew poison like sputum. And so many black males that are in jail, strung out, probation, parole, and bail, that computer statisticians cannot continue to competently compute. And you can throw money and religion at the problem, but so far the so-called solutions have been inadequate to solve them. New ideas are thrown off the table like scraps, because we idolize the ideas of he who sings, dances, acts, and raps. So perhaps we may want to have a discussion with those who have analyzed and discombobulated the traps. I'm talking self-initiated study and discipline. The only thing that can extricate ourselves from this peculiar predicament that we find ourselves in. Deeper than pitch of any long sin. Skin on skin. Where we can flip it from consistent losers who suffer losses to a win-win. I think I'm gonna do a little one. This is old from our buddy who's like right around the corner from here. Your boy Skip Gates. Hey Chip, tell him I said it. It will be on YouTube tomorrow.
I'll skip it.
Skip. So this is called Gatekeeper. What happens when the gates close on the gatekeeper? This is a head Negro wake-up call for all the late sleepers. And wait, it gets deeper. The preeminent scholar, Harvard professor and historian, creator of Encyclopedia Africana, Africana.com, and TheRoots.com, and to most of the general American public who only dines on pop culture because it's the only culture that they have that is sufficient, scholar, intellectual, historian, I'm not impressed. But in a world where knowledge is limited to general trivial pursuit, like if you can do well on Cash Cab, who wants to be a millionaire, then you are a genius. Doctor, professor, Henry Louis Gates, historian, scholar. Shake hand to Diop, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yosef Yohanan, Ishaka Musa Barashango, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Tony Martin, Ivan Van Sertima, Renoko Rashidi, but perhaps they just didn't have it. They lacked that one necessary ingredient for all scholars and intellectual figures of Skip Gates' magnitude, an unrelenting and all-consuming self-absorption, an ego mixed with a narcissistic messianic complex. Ego is the kryptonite of revolution. Ego is the silver bullet of art. Do you know who I am? Yes, you have made it abundantly clear. You know, I'm actually half white, 56% in fact. And I was married to a white woman for 20 years. And my children are mulatto. Brilliant. So Negro scholars validate our existence through percentages of white blood in our veins. Maybe we should take a 40 ounce out of the paper bag and use it to measure his blackness. Historians who use such archaic and racist terminology such as mulatto seem like the opposite of sophisticated and intellectual, and besides, which would make his grandchildren proud quadroons and octoroons. It's not like I'm a crazy black nationalist who runs around beating up white boys. No, you're not. Well, who is? Where is this organized mob of politically confused black people who run around beating up white boys? As a black nationalist, I was offended that he would make such a statement, after all, being called a historian who must be well aware of the transatlantic slave trade, Jim Crow, 5,000 plus lynchings, plus the KKK, neo-Nazis, skinheads, and Aryan Nation, all of whom have a well-established and well-documented record of real violence. From Emmett Till to plots to assassinate Obama after killing 88 black children in honor of Heil Hitler. But then again, I am one of those crazy black nationalists. As opposed to Officer Jim Crowley, who skipped gates after chugging a few at the White House that the Black Slaves Bill described as a nice guy. Skip didn't know at the time that Officer Crowley had 8 previous citizen complaints, 2 which alleged racism, and all of which were discovered dismissed only 2 days after the story originally broke, much like the system. Officer Jim Crowley. Jim Crowley. Jim Crow. The irony of it all. And now, after being forced through the pontifications of the professor, the agony of it all. Skip, now the poster boy for racial profiling in all of his infinite wisdom and glory, must not have been aware of Chapter 228 of the Acts of 2000, which called for data collection on traffic citations issued in Massachusetts. The act was intended to provide a statewide assessment of racial profiling with the aim of identifying and eventually eliminating any instances of racial profiling. This act required the Registry of Motor Vehicles to record the record or the data on race, gender, and search status of individuals receiving a written warning or citation, and was collected by the registry from April Fool's Day 2001 and June 30th, 2003, and a full report was issued after a study of the Mass State Police, 340 police departments, and 25 special police units. Problem? Ain't no problem. Boston and Cambridge does not have a problem with racial profiling. Our people are the finest in the country. Our police are the finest in the country. And you would have to be a banana-eating jungle monkey or a crazy black nationalist to think otherwise. So what happens when the systems hold the same values as the victim? Because the victim has lived his whole life trapped in a prison that tells him and constantly reinforces everything that he isn't. Let's not just say that arrogance is ignorance. Let's say it is a learned response and defense mechanism when you are reminded that you are the they you so often speak about. I am special, above the law, above critique, beyond reproach, past reform and past racial. Apparently. I have friends in high places and I think highly of myself. High and mighty, most high. I am the barrier between the field and the house. I am the gatekeeper, teacher's pet, master's favorite. Our house is burning, giver of comfort, shunner of all things struggle. You are Du Bois versus Garvey, Du Bois versus Booker T. You are both a black and white apologist, caught in an internal struggle between who you are and who you want to be. Not accepted but rejected by both sides, so you will forever remain at the gates. Never getting in yourself but assuring with your very life that none pass the gate who are not approved by your master. Sometimes my lips stop working in the middle of a thing. I'm getting old. All right. How we doing on time, sir? Woo! Damn! 2 more. 2 more. That's it? That's what they say, you know what I mean? I don't listen to Jeff that much. I might do 8 more. Oh, cool. Okay, so on the real, one of my favorite poems of all times, I gotta do a poem for Emmett Till. Yes! Gotta do that. Okay. This poem for Emmett Till is unimportant because Emmett Till will never hear it. This poem for Emmett Till is important because the society and the people that killed him will. What did he do to deserve that? Winked, whistled. The bitch is lucky I don't smack the shit out of her every time I see her. This blonde and blue Barbie, barbarian bimbo, these silicon and collagen college girls gone wild, these cannibalistic porno whore, vegetarian orally fixated funky fetish floozy, fuck that bitch. You wish that I would. Wink, whistle, wax that ass, work it. Young city slicker, game quicker, dick thicker than these country bumpkin hick-ass knuckles. Whistle, I grab that bitch's flat ass, put Mandingo on that gringo and have her in cornrows spitting hip-hop lingo. Pimp that biatch. And niggas get upset over a poem, but don't get upset when they are referred to as niggers. White bitches get upset because here I am saying white bitches when poor little Emmett Till got killed for whistling. winking, whatever. Did you see what they did to him? Did you see his face? He looked like Steve Biko, Malcolm X, Amadou Diallo, Bobby Hutton, Fred Hampton. They say we all look alike, and even more so after repeated gunshots and blunt trauma to the head and torso. This is a poem for Emmett Till, not for Buckwheat, not for Uncle Remus, not for Urkel, not for OJ, not for Arsenio, not for Colin Powell. Whistle, shorty, excuse me, hey girl, wish I would whistle while I work. Because if whistling is an offense punishable by death, then what the hell do we do with all these Caucasian rapists? Damn. Does he have to? Yes, motherfucker, I do. Because motherfucker is not a curse word, it is what happened. And it's okay if I'm rapping, nigga, bitch, hoe to my woman. But God forbid, Lord have mercy, if I even whistle at yours. And meanwhile, my woman gets no liberties besides the ones you take with her. This poem is for Mother Emmett Till, who said keep the casket open so the world can see what they've done to my boy. Yeah, Mother Emmett, I, all these years later, saw what they've done to your boy. So this poem is for you, forced to see your son black and blue, bruised and blue, drowned, and head blowed up, and body swelled up. And what they did to your boy was brutal, animalistic, savage, terrorism, bloodthirsty, inhuman, bestial, straight fucked up, and everything else we are accused of, and for them, unfortunately, par for the course. Winking, whistling, whatever. Whistle Dixie. Whistle like these bullets pass your head only because I missed. Whistle like lunchtime off work. Whistle like foul. This is a poem for Emmett Till. It is not affirmatively active. It is not rainbow correlated. It is not multiculturalism-nationist. It is ugly and beautiful only in that karma is a motherfucker. And I am his son, I don't give a fuck. But back to her. She is the cause of it all. The damsel in distress who got offended, whose honor was in question, who was defiled by the whistle of a black boy. And now black man feels bitter, but unrestrained, unrestricted, unafraid, uninterested. Whistle now like tea kettles about to boil over. Whistle now like secret soldier signals. This is a poem for Emmett Till, scooped up from river waters like sifting mud for gold. And we found him precious and priceless. And a nation within a nation stood too angry to let the world know. So what if he whistled at the skanky bitch anyway? This is a poem for the white family of that little white girl who was so fucking special that Emmett Till wasn't. I am sure that this white bitch's family, if not she herself, was still alive. Maybe Till passed on and went to meet Emmett only recently. Perhaps the possibility exists that one day that bitch, or the mother of that white bitch, or the children of that white bitch will somehow catch wind of this. This is a poem for Emmett Till, with a whistle, a wink, whatever. Look. We gotta bargain. We have to bargain. Because I want to end with something for the sisters, for the queens, right? But I got one more that I want to do for me. You know what I mean? All right.
It's all good.
No, I'm gonna leave it with love.
Compromise later and shit. Don't do your shit.
All right.
So we get it for us, or we gotta do it for him? gonna double up.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, not to say that what I'm about to do is not for the sisters. I think a lot of sisters feel. I know, I'm trying to do more.
We want all that you got.
I can't do all. We here to goddamn next Sunday. All right. But another one of my favorites, you know, Off the Chain. I am off the chain. You see, I have liberated myself from the plantation construct, which not only got you picking cottons, but got you stuffing it in your ears. They have become cogs in the machines and deaf to the screams of their own people caught in the grind of the gears for years. I am off the chain, free, unshackled, and what shall I do now? I will take the remnants of this chain and the pieces of these shackles and fashion them into brass knuckles and break the teeth out of the mouth of every cracker I see. Figuratively, no, literally. I am a fugitive from laws that don't recognize my humanity and seek to invalidate and negate my manhood. And I've done damn good, but not because of, in spite of the threat of the lash on my back, the fact that you gave me government-sponsored crack, but will not give me government-sponsored reparations. You have undermined all black nations, mostly the continental Africans and Haitians, who had the audacity to tell you that they were off the chain. I am off the chain. The chain reaction of the separation of the black family who was forced to live in substandard conditions on top of stolen land and therefore experience a diminished quality of life, devoid of any knowledge of my lineage, my language, and now all I am left with is my niggas. I am off the tip. Weaned away from the mammy breast you suckle for comfort. You buckle for comfort. And when something serious is said, you chuckle for comfort. I am off my rock. Too old to be content with just being old. You would have me sit and waste away and wallow in woe is me, oh me. But that ain't me. I am off the chain. I am off the gold chain, platinum chain, dipped in diamonds. Like, you wanna know how much my shit costs? $250,000. Nah, nigga, costs more than that. How about your chain costs 1,489 severed left arms of African children in Sierra Leone, plus 2,253 severed right legs of African women in Sierra Leone, plus 3,770 severed right arms of African men in Sierra Leone. And that is only Sierra Leone alone. And that was the same summer that you bought your Hummer. I am off the chain. The chain gang that will quick walk or drive by, blood in, blood out. I never liked them niggas over there. What's the difference? I don't like them niggas no way. That ain't gangsta, thug life. I mean, can we kill some crackers? Since niggas is about it and don't give a fuck. Can we stop shooting 6-year-old children riding bikes in the hood in front of the same store where all you could see was that nigga? What about that cracker who did more to you than any brother could ever do? Like I thought, niggas just bitches. I am off the chain. You love the white man like some interracial codependency abusive relationship. Get off his dick. If you die first, I will have to cry your cold dead fingers from around the dick of the white man. If I die first, you will have to pry my cold dead fingers from around the neck of the white man. And that's the difference between me and you. I am off the chain. Okay. So now, So now something for the sisters. Hey, you know what? And before I even do this, because this is the last. This is the last. Y'all hurt? Your fingers hurting? The open mic has been canceled. I'm going all night. No, really. Back in the day though too, you know, a thing about, you know, doing this kind of poetry, you know, I would often be like, you know, when I did crowds like, you know, you want some war shit or some love shit, you know what I mean? And depending on the vibe, you know, Okay, so, you know, I have a lot of love poetry, but it's not particularly, that's like the more personal, Okay. Now, what happened was, I had the good fortune of working with a group. How many of y'all heard of the group like Lumians? Okay, so my sisters is bad, all right, and I was privileged to be able to respond to a poetry. It was like a contest. At the same time, everything was swirling, and certain people, I don't even know if they come through no more. The Iokas and I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was just this time where everything was kind of like bubbling, you know what I mean? It was like crushed poetry, you dig? But everything was bubbling. So in any event, you know, I sent this poetry off and ended up being chosen to be the person in Boston to do this poem, blah, blah, blah. But it ended up becoming this really, a thing really larger than whatever, because it's like, quote unquote, this, you know, like ode to the black woman, blah, 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 blah. And I don't really believe in, you know, like hyping poetry up, because they're really not. You dig? It's just another, it's just a regular poem. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I think it's nice. You know what I mean? But I give that to the point of so much of what we do now, I think is not really scraping the surface of like what we all do this for. So I used to get a lot of flack for like, why are you so angry, or why are you this, why are you that? But the whole mindset of any soldier is that, you know, or warrior, that when you, whatever you fight for out there is so that you can come home to something, you know, better here.
Oh yeah.
You did? So everybody ain't just all, you know, blaze, you know, death and destruction. Nah, but it's like a certain thing needs to be discombobulated so we can get back to this other thing, you know what I mean? Which is, you know, man, woman, and child, family unit, you know what I mean, and to do that thing. Right. Okay, so this is my little offering for that. Oh, and one more thing, important to know. I came up with this while riding on the bus, looking at these two sisters, right, who, it's like if I could take them and just like whisk them away somewhere and like drape them in like, you know what I mean, like garments and jewels and whatnot, I don't think they realized, these are just two, you know, regular, quote unquote, regular chicks. And I don't, you know, they definitely didn't know. I didn't holler at them or nothing. Then they wasn't like, you know, ooh, whatever. It was just like looking at two sisters who was like fantastic at that moment in terms of, I don't even know that they recognized, you know what I mean? Like what it was right there on the back of, like, I think it was like the 22 or something. So this is to the Queen. You remind me of the queens I fell in love with when I first saw culturally accurate depictions of my historical sheroes. I wish I could build monuments to you and enter cities through the arches of your 30-foot legs. I would chisel your face on the inside of my temple and worship at the altar of your bottom lip. I would leave offerings on the tip of your tongue and bow my head in prayer before you. Excuse me, did I say that? Or was that all that I said? I meant to say that I would skywrite your name in graffiti across the Milky Way like a b-boy god in love, but that's really not my style. And complimenting your eyes or your smile seems so insignificant when you are so magically magnificent and deserve so much more than I. when all I can do is try to muster up the audacity to approach you like a schoolboy fan about to solicit an autograph from this favorite female movie star. You remind me of a star appearing close enough to touch and yet further away than I could probably imagine, and still shining bright enough to light a room. A star that wise men would follow, and like a star I feel that my destiny is somehow wrapped up in you, but I can't prove it. My queen, I am burning with desire. Will you not dip yourself up yourself and cool but my tongue and bear my young and listen to songs that I would much rather have sung by the heavenly host, because you are the most beautiful creature I have ever beheld and ever held. My queen, could I trouble you for a moment of your time, which is so valuable, it eludes time and takes up no time in my space, because your place is wherever you wish it to be. My only hope is that you somehow include me. Remember me? I cannot forget the time that we met, because it was more than once, and all at once became once upon a time when my fantasy stepped into my reality and did so innocently. My queen, at this point, I love you. Seems like the simple utterings of an idiot, but my feelings don't stutter. Heart flutters like butterflies who land on beautiful flowers like you, only to partake of sweet nectars. I've been working on that shit. Y'all like that shit? Move. All right.
We've been rehearsing.
Okay. Another one of my old favorites. And you know what's funny too? This shit was written in October 10th of 2001.
Okay.
This is crazy. All right, so is everybody with me though? Is anybody thoroughly turned off, offended? Anybody need to take the bathroom, smoke break, anything like that? Everybody's all right? Okay. All right. So the last poem I'm gonna do for you is not actually a poem. This is not a poem. This is not a poem. This is a threat. This is a warning. This is a promise. This is a cry for justice falling on deaf ears. This is a plea for mercy asked of the merciless. This is a prelude to revolution, the calm before the storm. This is a call to arms. This is life or death. This cannot straddle the fence, play devil's advocate, or flip-flop on the issue. This is consistent. This is never yielding. This is not fly-by-night, wishy-washy, here today and gone tomorrow. This is not a poem. This is a eulogy, a manifesto, a list of demands, a suicide note, a last will and testament. This is not a poem. This is a death threat, a ransom note. This is a declaration of war. This is a wake-up call. This is the truth. This is fucked up. This is in your face. This is not what you need. This is not what you want. This is unpopular and unapologetic. This is an ancient. This is steeped in tradition. This is sacred. This is not for you. This is not a poem. This is too hot for TV. This is that shit. This is not a fad or a phase. This is a way of life. This is healthy. This is real. This is not fake. This is unbendable. It will not break. This has gone too far. Across the line, stepped out of bounds, because this is not a poem. This is a warning. This is a threat. This is a promise. This is the last line of defense. And this is not negotiable. It's subject to debate. This is your foot in your mouth. This is my foot in your ass. This is a slap in the face. curse. This is a blessing in disguise. This is rebellion, insurrection. This is moving forward in all directions. This is making connections. This is not listening to your lies. This is making corrections. This is smashing the mirror, containing vain, egotistical reflections. Because this is not a moment. This is therapy. This feels good. This is not concerned, not worried, not scared. This is prepared. This is trained. Home to a fine point. This is a lethal weapon, a one-man game. And this is not a boat. And I am not a boat. Listen, I take donations, credit card, I got one of them little things, listen, holla at your boy. So this is it, Jeff Robinson Trio, thank you for having me. Jamarhl, come on, y'all, give it up for Jamarhl! Uno! Break the one on the bass, break the one on the bass, break the one on the bass, break the one on the bass. Drum to be on the drum, drum to be on the drum, drum to be on the drum. I'm Jeff Reed, the Jeff Robinson Trio. It's Sunday night. Jamarhl Crawford is the feature poet. It's 9/11, and that's just past. It's 9/12 by now, ain't it? Oh, well, we're working on it. We 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 working on it.